guys, what's up? I am Jordan Rard Coupe. You are watching Sporty Jordy, and welcome to Training Camp. Oh my God, ladies and gents. Let's just dive into everything. Lamar Jackson and Gus Edwards are not present for the Ravens as training camp begins, but Deshaun Watson is present for the Texans, and Aaron Rodgers is in Lambeau, and now Aaron Rodgers has got Randall Cobb back as a Packer. Like, this is literally just too much. Let's kick everything off talking about Lamar Jackson because that situation legitimately confused the crap out of me. I am literally going to read you the first thing that Adam Sheftyman posted this morning, and I was laying in bed and I thought I was still half asleep because I was reading this post and I could not comprehend any of what was going on. So dramatic. Sheftyman posted, that's going to be my new nickname for him. He posted, and I quote, Lamar Jackson is not practicing today in a COVID-related case the league still is trying to process. Like, this sentence isn't even one of his best. Sources tell ESPN's Jameson Hensley and me, Jackson, who tested positive on Thanksgiving, had another test that the NFL officials flagged. The league now is going through the science, and the Ravens are awaiting more answers. The post goes on for a little bit talking about the quarterbacks that are present for them today, but that chunk is really the important one. And honestly, now, after I've done a little bit more research into the situation, the post does make more sense, but without any context, I'm going to be 100% completely honest. The way it was worded, I thought he was saying that the league was investigating a COVID test from around last Thanksgiving when he first tested positive. And this is just not the case. And realistically, that wouldn't make any logical sense. Like, how would you hold him out of practice today for a test that happened last November? Someone please tell me I was not the only one that got that message from it. I really hope I wasn't. So yes, back in week 12 last year, he had to miss one game because of COVID protocols. But now, present day, he has another positive COVID test. That's all that post was trying to say. So he is not practicing today. I think where he was trying to go with it was they're investigating the science because it's a second positive COVID test. So what does that really mean? I think that's more what he was going for, but that did not come across this morning. So yeah, now him and Gus Edwards are just following the correct COVID protocol. So really, this isn't confusing at all. It's actually a very standard thing. And it was made clear in reports that this has nothing to do with looming contract talks that he is obviously going to be having. This is 100% strictly medical. It's really no big deal. They'll play it out. And when he's cleared, he'll return to practice. No biggie. But speaking of medical, someone call an ambulance because Aaron Rodgers is back in Green Bay and I have forgotten how to breathe. Not actually though, because I knew. I actually knew. I just had this gut feeling and I knew that he was not going to not play for the Packers. I always get myself into these tongue twisters. I just knew that he was going to be a Packer for at least one more year. And now looking back, I think it was more of just I really wanted him to be a Packer for one more year. But now that it's actually happening, I'm going to claim that I knew it all along. But really, when him and Davante Adams went off posting their cryptic Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen Instagram stories, that for me was the 100% confirmation that he was playing one more season in Green Bay. They were going to have their last dance. Duh. Especially considering this all happened right after news broke that Davante Adams broke off all conversations of a long-term extension with the Packers. Now, going back in time just a little bit, it feels like it was forever ago now, but back before it was 190,000% confirmed that Aaron Rodgers was going to be playing in Green Bay this season, it came to our attention that Mr. Aaron Rodgers turned down a contract extension from the Packers that would have tied him to the team through 2026, whatever. That really isn't that surprising. But what was surprising, though, was that contract would have not only made him the highest paid quarterback in the entire league, it would have legitimately made him the highest paid player. So that's when I think we all sat back and went like, well, crap, this really isn't about the money. He turned it down. He turned it down. So now I have come to a point that I refused to get to this entire offseason, and I have accepted that this is, unless some frickin' miracle happens, this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' last season in Green Bay as a Packer, and I'm honestly okay with that. I just needed some more closure regarding this whole situation, and having this whole season play out the way I think it's going to, I will be able to get that closure. Sorry, my camera battery died. Where was I? Oh, yes. And I will be able to fly to Wisconsin and watch him play in Lambeau. I'm literally not joking. If anyone wants to come with me, please do. This is just something that has to happen. And part of me was like, let me go in September when it's warm. Now I'm honestly leaning more towards I want the full body numbing cold winter in Lambeau experience. So we'll see. But this is something that is on my bucket list. I want to see him play in Lambeau before he's done. But for right now, we can still enjoy him in the green and yellow. And now he's back paired up with one of his favorite targets ever, Randall Cobb. As of Wednesday morning, the Texans have agreed to trade Randall Cobb back home to Green Bay. Overall, this is just really quite exciting, and it was made very clear that this was done for Aaron Rodgers and for Aaron Rodgers only, but I honestly don't care. This just proves that he has earned his seat at the big boy table. He is now able to call some shots. They're listening to him. They are granting some of his wishes. Now, it only took him nearly walking away from the organization for them to start listening to him a little bit, but hey, a victory is a victory. I'll take it. I'm sorry, that was so dramatic. I'm just so thirsty. It's so hot. Nothing like soda to quench your thirst. We are now going on year 2 of trying to get Pepsi to sponsor me. Now, do I think that Randall Cobb is going to walk into this organization, walk onto the field, be a part of this team, and prove that he was the missing piece that they needed to make it to the Super Bowl and to get that Lombardi trophy? Absolutely not. Let's look at the facts on paper here, people. He is going to be turning 31 years old this August, and last season with the Texans, granted, he missed 6 games with a toe injury, but he had just 3 touchdowns, 38 receptions, and 441 yards. So this is more of an exciting move because, like I just said, it just proves that the Packers are now going to start listening to Rodgers more. They're more willing to fulfill some of his requests. And also, like I previously said, this is one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets ever. So now it just brings a good energy, a good momentum, which I think is desperately needed, giving everything that happened this offseason. Now you have Davante Adams calling off any talks of a long-term extension. Things could easily be super, super toxic. And I think to an extent they're going to be. So any small little bursts of happiness and the shining yellow light, I'll take it. Moreover, remaining in the quarterback category, Deshaun Watson did show up to the Texans' first training camp practice on Wednesday morning, even though he demanded a trade from the team, even though they are now listening to trade talks, and even amid 22 active lawsuits filed against him. That I think is clearly the biggest elephant in the room right now. And it kind of feels like that whole situation has gotten swept under the rug. And I think that is because the NFL has come out and said, quote unquote, there are currently no restrictions against Deshaun Watson. Their review of the allegations is still ongoing. So for right now, it's practice as usual, as weird as that may seem. And now we're already seeing trade talks start up again. You've seen the Eagles and the Dolphins thrown out there a lot. It feels super weird because this is such a serious situation and it's not one that we should be taking lightly. But for the time being, it seems like all proper steps are being followed. So it's just kind of one of those things where we have to let time do its thing and just see how everything plays out. All right, enough quarterback talk. Let's talk cornerbacks. And there is one thing that I do have to admit, even though I really, really don't want to, but I'm choosing to be the bigger person in this situation as someone who made it very clear they want Howie Roseman fired. I blatantly even said that the day he is fired, I will throw the largest party extravaganza that anyone has ever seen. I will invite everyone I know. I do have to admit that this offseason for the Eagles has been pretty good. I am pretty content with majority of the moves that have been made since you have created the biggest mess I've ever seen. Sorry, I couldn't be too nice to him. I needed to throw one dig in there. But really, Howie Roseman got us into this hot dumpster fire mess, but now he is doing a great job picking up the pieces and cleaning them up. So I will give credit where credit is due. Bye. This week, we finally signed former Steelers cornerback Steven Nelson, which is a move that I have been eagerly awaiting for. I am so excited that we were able to snag him. And trust me, I know that there are a lot of people who are not super stoked about this move, but clearly I am not one of them. Following the Richard Sherman incident and preceding Xavien Howard requesting a trade, which we will get into, Nelson is the best corner available. And knowing that he is going to be opposite of Slay, knowing that he can play both man and zone coverage, I just think this is exactly what our secondary needed. Even though he is a veteran, I am totally fine with it. It does crush me just a little bit knowing that if we held off, there was like a slight chance we could have gotten Xavien Howard. But let's be real, I don't think we would have went out and paid him what he deserves to be paid, which is a lot. So I will die on this hill. I love the Steven Nelson move. Now, in regards to Xavien Howard, who in my opinion is the best corner in the entire league. Fight with me about it if you want. I would love it. I am going to attach a link to his full statement in requesting a trade from the Miami Dolphins in my description, just because I think everyone should read it. The way he spoke about how talented he knows he is and how much he is aware that he deserves, while not being arrogant or rude in the slightest. Like, he spoke with the utmost professionalism, and it was absolutely fantastic. And we know how much I am a fan of the Miami Dolphins, so obviously I don't want him to leave this organization, but he spoke about how he tried to do everything he can to make this a win-win situation for him and the team, and they just chose not to go for it. And at the end of the day, I fully stand with players who are able to stick up for themselves and are willing to speak out and go after what they know they're worth. Let me know in the comments down below some potential landing spots that you would like to see Xavien Howard in. Right off the top of my head, I immediately want to send him to Philadelphia. No, but really though, I understand we just signed Steven Nelson, and I understand that I just hyped it up so much, but there is no reason why we couldn't also sign Xavien Howard. And the Dolphins and the Eagles are no strangers to make a big deal this year, so Xavien Howard, I would love you. But no, realistically, I'm thinking Arizona Cardinals. How sick would that be? All right, we have covered so much today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.